What's up? My name's Jordan, and today I'm going to be talking about this. This is a Magic Keyboard Gen 1. I don't know if it's Gen 1, but it's the original. Came in like the 2012 iMacs and stuff like that, until they replaced it with the new ones that don't have this AA battery shaft. Anyways, I'm going to be reviewing it for 2022. I almost said 2021, but it's 2022, which is cool. So I've been using this for, a few weeks. My parents had it just laying around their house, and I needed a Bluetooth keyboard, so I got a free one, which is nice. And it works obviously really great with I have a MacBook Pro, not M1, but it's pretty sick, just a normal Intel-based MacBook Pro, 13-inch. So I use it sort of as a desktop, and it works pretty great. I really enjoy it, and I'm just gonna be going over some of the key features, key features and stuff I found I really enjoy. So let's review this keyboard. All right, let's start with the pros. So the pros, the good things, the great things about this keyboard. First of all, I love how it feels. I'm gonna be real with you guys. It just feels good. It's a nice feeling keyboard. It's no mechanical keyboard in that sort of range of good feelingness. However, it feels great. Especially I feel like my standard of horrible keyboards is the butterfly keyboards of the MacBooks for a while. But now that they're fixed, back to the Magic Keyboard sort of vibe, it's good. It's great. It's nothing crazy, but it's also nothing horrible. It's just a solid keyboard, solid feel. And then there's also features. There's some really great features. Honestly, I think one of the best features of this keyboard is literally just the features of it. The fact that it links, first of all, with macOS so well. So, it has the whole function row key thing where it has brightness and mission control and the volume and all that. And I personally find that to be really useful. I know some people want those just plain function keys. They don't want all that stuff. But I personally really love having function keys that normally aren't function keys. They do volume or whatever. Because I don't really use function keys that much personally for what I use my computer for. I know some people might be like, oh yeah, I use function keys all the time for what I do. And that's totally cool. And maybe that means it's not the keyboard for you, but for me, I love it. I think it's great. It makes things really convenient. I'm actually used to the touch bar on my MacBook Pro. That's personally what I use. And I think it's really great. And so having the sort of specialized function row, it's really great for me. Plus, there's also the great macOS feature of how it pairs. So personally, I love how it pairs through Bluetooth, obviously, but it also uses the idea of integration of software and stuff. So, when it disconnects or when it connects, it'll have the little square that comes up on macOS, and it'll say connected or the keyboard's not connected or whatever, which is really nice because it's sort of just integrated with the UI. And it kind of, because this came before AirPods, obviously, it reminds me of AirPods in the fact that, pop them open and then it pops up on your iPhone or iPad or whatever. It's not the same, it's not as advanced, but I feel like it was an early version, a type or a foreshadowing of what was to come, almost like a prototype version of that software, which is kind of cool. Okay, so we got to talk about the cons. I think the biggest downside of this keyboard is pretty obvious. It's the power. It runs on AA batteries, which is pretty outdated, pretty lame. People get on Xbox because the Xbox controllers don't run on rechargeable. They are still AA, which is kind of crazy. But those came out in 2021, and this came out in like, I don't even know, 2011 or something like that, like forever ago. They're at least a decade old. And so this keyboard is, while yes, running on outdated power, it's also pretty well suited for the time. And what I do to get around it is I use rechargeable AA batteries. I just pop in some rechargeable AA batteries, and then you can just use those when they run out of juice. You just recharge them. Like, it's that simple. Makes things a lot easier for that, and don't have to be constantly buying AA batteries, which makes it really nice. Now, it's obviously an added cost, but it saves you a lot in the long run. The second con, honestly, is probably just the feel of it, which is kind of funny because the Pro is the feel of it. But if you are a mechanical keyboard person, this keyboard isn't for you. I'm gonna be real. I'm a mechanical keyboard person, and it's hard for me to do this. It's not my favorite, and I would much rather go with something like a Keychron K2 or something like that, where it's still the same compact size, but it's also rechargeable and it's mechanical. But it still feels great. However, that is a big downside, is that it's not mechanical. Some people, that'll be a big deal. Some people will be like, I literally don't care. Either way, I think that's great. But that is something you have to look into when you're looking at the bad things. Lastly, the biggest bad thing, in my opinion, is just the size of it. Which again is sort of also a pro in a way, because it's more portable and it's more compact and it takes up less space, but at the same time, it's not big. It doesn't have a numpad. It doesn't have all those extra keys that you might want or need. It's about, I think it's technically like 65% is the format of it, because it still has the key, still has the arrow keys, so it's not 60 necessarily, but it's like 65. But if you can get over the size, over the AA batteries, and get over the non-mechanical, which I think I can, then you're looking at a pretty solid keyboard even in 2022. It's an over 10-year-old keyboard and it rocks it still. So yeah, I think overall it's a solid keyboard, you know. That's my review of it for 2022. I think its biggest downside is the AA batteries, which can be overcome with the rechargeable, but still a pretty big downside. So I would rate it overall probably a 7 out of 10 because of those AA batteries mostly. But other than that, and also the fact that it's not mechanical, but I mean, it's Apple, they don't really make mechanical keyboards anymore, so you take what you can get, and I think it's still a really sweet keyboard. And I got it for free, so that's pretty sweet as well. So yeah, guys, that is the Magic Keyboard in 2022. Leave a like if you liked it. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Be real. I want to know. I need feedback. This is my first video. I want to be real with you guys. I want to be honest. I'm gonna just be reviewing older-ish technology that I have laying around that I'm using, and just giving my honest thoughts on them as a student. And yeah, so catch you guys in the next one. Peace.